what you love, what you hate, what you fear. Most people don't realize that they are manifesting all three of these things. And why is that? It's because energy doesn't care whether something is positive or negative or good or bad. The universe only responds to that strong emotional charge, that strong emotional intensity. And the fact is that anything you give a strong emotional charge to, whether good or bad, whether you want it or not, it becomes magnetic in your reality. It leads to manifestation in your reality, whether it's something based on love, resentment, or fear. In this video, I want to explain why this happens and also how you can take back control of your energy and of your thoughts and your emotions so that you can only manifest what truly serves you. So here's the thing. The universe doesn't operate on judgment, on good or bad. It doesn't label things in your life as positive or negative, per se. It simply mirrors back to you your own energetic state. That's why whatever you're focusing on with a strong emotional charge will then manifest. Whether it's something you love and adore or something you despise and are scared of, the emotional charge behind all those things is still very strong, whether in the positive direction or in the negative direction. So when you really love something deeply and you feel that strong emotional charge that you love something, then you're sending a very strong message to the universe. But in the same way, on the other side of the spectrum, when you really hate something passionately with a lot of emotional charge, then you're also sending a very powerful message to the universe. One is positive, one is negative. They're in opposite directions, but that emotional charge is still there. And at the end of the day, you've probably heard this saying that where attention goes, energy flows. So whether you're putting that attention and energy into a positive vibration or a negative vibration, the universe, in a sense, it doesn't judge you for going in either direction. It operates in the same way. It then manifests back to you whatever you have really strongly charged in your life, whether that thing is positive or negative, whether it's something you want or don't want. Emotion is really just energy in motion. And so the stronger the emotion that you have, the more powerful the vibration. And love, joy, fear, anger, whether these emotions are positive or negative, they can all carry a really powerful energy if that's what we focus on. Again, our subconscious mind, and then by extension, the universe, they don't understand the difference between positive vibration and negative vibration, or they don't judge you for going in either direction. They simply reflect back to you your own dominant emotional states. And at the end of the day, whatever you choose to focus on with intensity, whether that thing is positive or negative, that becomes the dominant frequency in your life, and also the dominant frequency that is then reflected back to you. So at this point, you should have a better idea why things that you fear actually manifest into your life. And that's because fear is a very powerful emotion. What the funny thing about it is fear is faith, but it's faith in the wrong direction. That's a really more empowering way of looking at it, that when we fear something, we have faith in something. We have faith in the negative outcome. So that's also the solution that we'll get into in a moment. The solution to fear is to have faith in its opposite, is to have courage and faith in the opposite. But when we believe in these things that scare us, when we're terrified, when we give them our energy, we constantly think about what could go wrong and we rehearse it in our mind, we catastrophize, we've all been there, then we're programming our subconscious to expect that outcome, even though we don't want it. And that's the thing, consciously we don't want it, but subconsciously we're feeding that outcome with energy. And although fear and these other negative emotions vibrate at a much lower energy, they're still energy. And the universe doesn't discriminate between these lower level vibrations and the higher level ones. It mirrors back to you whatever signal you're constantly putting out into the world. That's why people who fear rejection always experience it. Not as a punishment, but it's because that's what they're focused on. They're focused on the rejection. They're afraid of it. So they're, in a sense, creating that reality for themselves by their focus, by having a strong emotional focus on what they don't want. So this all works in the same way with things that we say that we hate. Because when you hate something, you're charging it with emotion. You're emotionally tied to it. You feed it with energy every single time you react to it, you think about it, you complain about it. Whenever you complain about something, I mean, maybe you feel very justified because there's something in your life that, oh, you hate that it's there. And so every time it comes to mind, you just get emotional and just turbocharged. I hate that thing. Well, every time you do that, you're giving it more and more of your energy. Every time you think about it, react to it, talk about it. Every time these things come up in your life that you say you hate, you're actually energizing their vibration. So this is another saying that you've probably heard. What you resist persists. And that's because you're giving your attention and your energy, your emotional energy, to this outcome that you don't like, that you don't want. And so you have to learn to release it. You have to learn to focus on the other side of the spectrum, on the things that you do want. You have to acknowledge it, let it go, and move on, and learn the lesson that came from it. So that's enough negativity. So now let's focus on the positive. Why do you manifest what you love? It all works in the same way. In the previous examples, I talked about how the strong emotional charge can bring about what you fear, can bring about what you hate. When we talk about love, the universe operates in the same way. It's simply on the other side of the spectrum. It's now a positive thing that we're talking about. What you love is also what you attract, because when you love something and you grant something that emotional charge, in the same way it's reflected back to you. Just as those lower vibrational states are reflected back to you, so are the higher positive vibrational states. That's why we talk so much in this world of spirituality and manifestation about raising your vibration, raising your frequency. Because if your life is just a reflection of what you're feeling inside, then why spend any more time in those lower vibrational states when you don't have to? Instead, learn to raise that emotional state that you're in, and then positive things will come back to you and be reflected to you in the physical reality. And speaking of frequency, love is an incredibly powerful and incredibly high frequency. So it's something that expands and harmonizes. And when you project that out into the world and you give your focus onto what you love, then in the same way, that is what is reflected back to you. And who doesn't want that? Who wants more of the negative when you can consciously choose to live in this higher place and have those higher things reflected back to you? So now, knowing all of this, how do we actually create the reality that we want? How do we take our focus and attention away from those lower level states of vibration to the higher level ones like love and gratitude? Here's the thing, it's not about suppressing the negativity or the fear or any of that. It's about seeing it for what it is and feeling the emotion and then moving on. And also learning to transmute and alchemize the negativity in our life. So when the fear and the hate and the negativity comes up, you have to ask yourself, what am I meant to learn from all of this? How is this happening for me and not just to me? You're going to have to spend a little bit of time there, but you don't have to spend any more time than is necessary to get the gift and learn the lesson, and then you can move on, and then you can transmute it. You can take the lesson from that difficulty and then move on and transmute it. When something negative happens, when there's something that you hate or you fear, you focus on it and you get the gift in a sense. You spend some time in that darkness as much as you have to, but then it's time to go. And then you consciously redirect your energy to focus on the opposite side of the spectrum, the positivity. So when you're fearful, when you hate something, ask yourself, what is this showing me about me? What are the lessons I need to learn here? Why am I triggered by all of this in this way? And then you shift that. Once you've learned the lesson and you now have more knowledge, you alchemize it, you transmute it, you shift onto the other side of the spectrum, and you practice gratitude and love, and whatever negative thing you've been focusing on, you find its opposite and you focus on that. That's how we can learn to transmute that energy and consciously direct it in the way that we want, because we have the power at any time to pull our attention away from those negative things and place it in a positive, high vibrational direction. The moment you can learn to take control of your emotional energy, you take ownership of your reality. Because what you love, what you hate, what you fear, you will manifest them all. And why not manifest what you love instead of the other negative things that you don't want? Because again, this energy is neutral in a way. Like the universe is going to respond in the same way, whether it's something positive or negative, whether it's something wanted or unwanted. And it's your emotion that gives all these things power. So don't be afraid of your emotions or your feelings. Don't fear any of these things at all. The goal is to eventually become fearless, but use your emotions as the creative tools that they are and learn how to consciously direct them in the direction that you want to go. So if you haven't already, I'd love for you to join our growing community. Links to my free newsletter are in the pinned comment and description below, and you'll receive a free gift if you sign up today. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.